Well, good morning, everyone. Let me introduce myself. I am Margaret Johnson. I'm the Associate Dean for Experiential Education here at the University of Baltimore School of Law. I also direct the Bronfine Family Law Clinic, and welcome to our clinic swearing-in ceremony. First, welcome students. We, of course, had hoped that we would be holding this ceremony in our beautiful moot court room in the law school building. But here we are on Zoom. As lawyers this semester in your clinics, you will learn that problem solving and being adaptable is critical to being successful in representing clients. We will look forward to welcoming you to the clinic offices for those who are in the in-house clinics when we return next week. And to parents, significant others, and friends here on Zoom to celebrate this important occasion with your friends or loved one, thank you for being here and welcome. So students, there are 3 reasons why your experience in clinic will likely be the most meaningful experience of your law school career. First, you get to write your own narrative, your own story about who you are as a lawyer. Up until now, law school has done a big job in writing the narrative for you. In the first year, you had required classes. Your schedule was set. And the facts in the appellate cases you read for class were set as well. Clinic is different. You will encounter the messiness and uncertainty of life where clients' issues and problems are real and ever-changing, as are the potential solutions for them. In this context, you have the chance to write your own story of what type of lawyer do you want to be? How do you want to grow and learn this semester? And how will you carry your values into your professional work? Second, you will partner with your clients in authoring their narratives, their stories. This is a privilege and a responsibility of helping clients communicate to others who they are, what their problems are, or may be, and how we and the legal system can help address them. And there's no better time for you to be in clinic. There is urgent work to be done on the continuing racial justice reform project and responses to COVID-19, which continue to challenge our clients' health, economic security, and access to justice. Third, while we have spent time in isolation over the past year and a half, and here we are again, in clinic, you will not be isolated. Even you've probably seen this in the last week or so just being on Zoom. Because clinic is challenging, it's hard work because lawyering is hard work and a great responsibility, and we do it together. You're not alone as you undertake this important work. You will work with your clients. You will work with your student attorney colleagues, and you will engage in this work under the supervision of our exceptional clinical faculty, all of whom are skilled teachers and lawyers, as well as leaders of the bar. Clinics have a very low student-faculty ratio of no more than 6 students to 1 faculty member. These amazing mentors will not let you fail. They are a key reason why our clinical program is ranked number 15 in the country in US News and World Report. I want to introduce them now to you as part of this program. I will start with the faculty in the Civil Advocacy Clinic, Professors Michelle Gilman, Professor Dan Hatcher, and Professor Emily Poore. In the Community Development Clinic, we have Professors Jamie Lee, Veryl Powell. There's Jamie. I see her on my screen waving. Hopefully you all can see the faculty. And Diane Glauber. In the Criminal Practice Clinic, Professor Danny Schemmer. In the Family Law Clinic, myself and my colleague, Professor Jessica Denhouter. In the Immigrant Justice Clinic, Professors Elizabeth Keys and Jacqueline Bradley Chacon. In the Innocence Project Clinic, Professors Erica Suter and Sarah Gottlieb. In the Legal Data and Design Clinic, Professor Colin Starger, who also serves as our Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. In the Mediation Clinic for Families, Professor Rob Rubinson. In the Mental Health Law Clinic, Professors Linda Penn and Don Stone. In the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic, Professors Melinda Dunmeyer and Sakina Tillman. In the Veterans Advocacy Clinic, Professors Hugh McLean and Katie Clemens. And we also have a director of clinical writing in our clinical program. This is a unique program for the University of Baltimore, and that's Professor Ashley Young. And of course, our director of externships, Professor Naacp Lal. At this point, I'd like to introduce our dean, who will introduce our honored guest, Judge Shirley Watts, who will then administer the oath and provide some words of wisdom as you embark on this journey. I'm very honored to introduce Dean Ron Weish. He had a distinguished legal career before becoming our dean 10 years ago. We are so lucky to have him. Among his various accomplishments, he was chief counsel to Senator Edward Kennedy on the Senate Judiciary Committee, an attorney in private practice, chief counsel to the late Senator Harry Reid, and an assistant attorney general in the Department of Justice. And he was a former clinic student when he was in law school. Suffice it to say, he understands the importance of clinical education. He knows that the power of learning is very powerful when you are doing the work. He realizes how hard you will be working this semester, and we always thank him for his support of the clinical program. Dean White.
Good morning, students, friends and family members of our students. Good morning, faculty and staff colleagues. I'm so glad to see you all, even in 2 dimensions. I would much rather see you in 3 dimensions, as Dean Johnson said, in our beautiful moot courtroom. But we're moving ahead. We're not letting this coronavirus stop us from carrying out our vital mission of educating the next generation of successful, ethical, effective lawyers. And of course, clinical education is right at the heart of that mission. I'm very pleased to join Dean Johnson in telling you how important this moment is. It's so important that all of you, I see, have gotten dressed up even to be in front of your computer screens. And I take that seriously, and I know you do as well, because this is a very solemn moment, and you're going to be taking an oath soon, administered by a judge of the Maryland Court of Appeals. And that is an indication of how serious this moment is. Now, let me just correct one thing that Dean Johnson said. I just feel like, in the interest of full disclosure, I have to say it. It is possible that our momentary reversion to online education due to the Omicron variant will cause us to be delayed for a bit longer, maybe 1 more week beyond next week. So while she look forward to seeing you in the clinic suite next week, it's possible it'll be 1 week after that. Keep your eye on email, and we'll have an announcement about that shortly. But one way or another, we're coming back soon. And above all, we want to ensure that clinic students and faculty and staff are able to serve their clients effectively. And to the extent that that requires access to the building even sooner, you will have it. I can assure you of that. Now, clinic education is so vital. This is not another simulation. You've been through the various mock arguments in your classes. Perhaps you participated in moot court or trial advocacy, where we create a scenario for you to pretend to be lawyers. Here, you will be lawyers. You will be practicing law under special Maryland rules that enable law students to do that under expert faculty supervision. And while that's scary, I want to assure you that you are well supported. Our clinical faculty is second to none, maybe ranked 15th in the country, but as far as I'm concerned, the best faculty that a clinical program has throughout the United States. And I'm so proud of Dean Margaret Johnson and the rest of my colleagues for the work that they do to both educate you and support you in your important work on behalf of clients. As Dean Johnson said, I myself was a clinic student many years ago. I worked in a mental hospital legal services clinic representing individuals who were facing civil commitment. And it's an experience that stays with me today. It was my first experience as a lawyer. And many years later, I remember it vividly. I remember the trepidation I felt walking into a hearing on behalf of a client. At the same time, I remember the exhilaration I felt being able to represent somebody and serve them and do justice in individual cases. So the work that you will be doing is equally important, no matter which clinic you have chosen, which clinic you are enrolled in. And I am frankly jealous of the opportunity and excitement that you will have in these coming months. So congratulations, students. Congratulations to your family and friends who are with us today, because they know how important this moment is. They've joined us. And to underline just how important this moment is, I'm proud to introduce our special guest, Judge Shirley Watts, who will administer the oath to you shortly. Judge Watts has had a distinguished legal career in Maryland. She has been, first of all, a practicing lawyer on both sides of the criminal justice system as an assistant state's attorney here in Baltimore City, as well as an assistant federal public defender. She then rose through the ranks of judging, first as an administrative law judge for the Social Security Administration, then in Baltimore City Circuit Court, then the Maryland Court of Special Appeals, our intermediate appellate court, and now for a number of years on the Maryland Court of Appeals, our highest court, where she both makes us proud from her service, and then we're so honored that every year, twice a year really, she joins us at this ceremony to share her insights about the work that you're about to do and to lend her prestige to this very important ceremony. So please join me in welcoming the Honorable Shirley Watts.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. It is such a pleasure to be here this morning. I enjoy this swearing in ceremony so much. It's one of the most fulfilling things that I get to do as a judge with the Maryland Court of Appeals. Thank you, Dean White, for the lovely introduction and for your good work with the law school. I can't believe that it's been 10 years.
It's not quite. It's not. It's 9 and something. Let's not age me.
Well, you've done such a wonderful job, and I really appreciate your service. Thank you, Dean Johnson, for inviting me, and thank you to the clinical program faculty and staff. Good morning to our soon-to-be student attorneys, your family, and friends. Students, in just a few minutes, you will be sworn in and officially become student attorneys. As student attorneys, you will be able to take actions of great consequence. You'll be able to advise people who are facing tough challenges. You'll be able to draft documents on behalf of clients and to represent them in court. I echo Dean Johnson's sentiment. You are not alone. You will have the support of a wonderful faculty, a wonderful administration. You've had the support of family and friends who are perhaps with you today. And most importantly, you'll have your clients who will need you. Even in this pandemic age with virtual proceedings, your clients will need and will be grateful for the representation and skill that you will offer this semester. Before you move into this new stage of your career, I want to take an opportunity to share with you a little about the life and career of one of the legal giants of our state, Justice Thurgood Marshall. Justice Marshall embodies the principles of justice that you will be pursuing on behalf of your clients this semester. Justice Marshall has been memorialized through the dedication of statutes and buildings that have cemented his name and likeness into the history of our state and our country. Not only has his image been memorialized, but so has his undeniably significant influence on the legal profession. In fact, I am keenly aware that Justice Marshall's work, both as an advocate and a jurist, have had a profound impact on my life and career. I am one who has benefited directly from his work. I was not blessed with the opportunity of personally knowing or working alongside Justice Marshall. Instead, like others, I've gained knowledge of the justice through his legacy and impact on the law. And today I want to share with you some of my perspective of Justice Marshall and his work. The Irish playwright George Bernard Shaw once wrote, "You see things and say, why? But I dream things that never were, and I say, why not?" This observation is well known to have been imparted in the 1960s by Senator Robert Kennedy, who transmuted it into a rallying cry for progression and the civil rights movement. I would posit that Justice Thurgood Marshall, through his work and life, likewise embodied this very important principle. Why not? Justice Marshall was born on July 2nd, 1908. If he were alive today, he would be 113 years old and living in times very different than those that he was born into. Justice Marshall came from humble beginnings. He was born at a time that segregation and other forms of discrimination were realities with which he was forced to cope. Despite growing up and living in an era in which the law upheld the very practices that he experienced, Justice Marshall took the law and he used it as an ally in his quest to achieve equality and justice for all. Justice Marshall attended Lincoln University and later Howard University School of Law, institutions today which are proudly known as historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, that these schools are now able to be known as historically Black colleges and universities is in part due to the work of Justice Marshall and his groundbreaking role in the desegregation of educational institutions in our country. Justice Marshall graduated first in his law school class. After graduation, he opened a private practice in Baltimore and began handling cases through the local NAACP. Justice Marshall was invited by his mentor, Charles H. Houston, an equally famous attorney, to take on a larger role nationally with the NAACP. In 1940, with Justice Marshall's leadership, the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund was founded, and Justice Marshall was named its first director. The NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund is still in existence today, and among other things, is working to protect voting rights in this country and to pursue other principles of equal justice, which are now at stake in our democracy. One of Justice Marshall's former law clerks, Stephen L. Carter, who is now a professor at Yale Law School, once recounted the story of a taxi driver who shared with him the taxi driver's perspective of Justice Marshall's career as an attorney with the NAACP. According to Mr. Carter, the taxi driver recalled rooting for Justice Marshall and likened the experience to rooting for the late great boxer Joe Louis. To put this comment in perspective, that would be roughly the equivalent, I think, to saying that Justice Marshall's endeavors in the courtroom were equally as exciting today as the exploits of LeBron James on the basketball court. In time, Justice Marshall's successful litigation career caught the attention of President John F. Kennedy, and in October 1961, he was appointed to serve as an appellate judge for the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. In August 1965, Justice Marshall was appointed Solicitor General of the United States, and in June 1967, upon the retirement of Justice Tom C. Clark, Thurgood Marshall was appointed to serve as an Associate Justice on the United States Supreme Court. Justice Marshall served on the United States Supreme Court for 24 years, from 1967 to 1991. It has been reported that Justice Marshall wrote 322 full majority opinions for the court, 84 concurrences, and 363 dissents in which he disagreed with the majority and felt compelled to explain his reasons why. And so Justice Marshall's dissents alone easily outnumbered his majority opinions, demonstrating the need for independence, clarity, and leadership in the legal profession. On January 24th, 1993, Justice Thurgood Marshall passed away. After his passing, Chief Judge Justice William Rehnquist honored Justice Marshall by stating, "Inscribed above the front entrance to the Supreme Court building are the words, 'Equal justice under law.' Surely no individual did more to make these words a reality than Thurgood Marshall." And that was Chief Justice William Rehnquist. Also in tribute, Judge Constance Baker Motley recalled that when Justice Marshall was leading the NAACP's fight to end segregation, during all of the years that Plessy versus Ferguson was the law of the land, it was Justice Harlan's dissent in Plessy that kept Marshall, as she called him, going. Judge Motley said that Justice Marshall's favorite quotation from the dissent was, "Our Constitution is colorblind." Justice Marshall's impact on the law, both as a member of the bar and a jurist, is immeasurable. His work changed the fabric of our nation and altered how many view and interpret the Constitution as a living document. I could not hope to fully describe the many accomplishments of Justice Marshall in my time with you this morning, but I would encourage you to seek out additional information about Justice Marshall should you want or ever need inspiration as you move forward as student attorneys or in your career in the future. Thank you. And now for the most important part, the oath. Will the students enrolled in the University of Baltimore clinical program for the spring 2022 semester please stand where you are and raise your right hand so that you can be sworn in as student attorneys under Rule 19-220 of the rules governing the admission to the Bar of Maryland. So you are now standing and raising your right hand, students. Please respond by saying yes or no, hopefully yes. Do you solemnly swear that you are enrolled
Judge Watts? I'm not sure. Okay, maybe it was just me. I couldn't hear you at the beginning of the oath.
Oh, okay. A message came on that said everyone was muted. I thought that applied to the students and not me, but apparently.
Okay, well, you are not muted now. Please proceed. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
I apologize if I did anything. Students, I'm going to begin again with these questions because this oath is important and we don't want you to miss a single word of it. So you're standing with your right hand raised and you're going to respond by saying yes or no. Do you solemnly swear that you are enrolled in the University of Baltimore School of Law clinical program? Yes. You are in good academic standing? Yes. You have completed at least 1/3 of the total credit hours of your law school education? Yes. You have read and are familiar with the Maryland Rules of Professional Conduct and the Maryland Rules of Procedure relevant to the practice area of your clinic? Yes. Having answered yes to all of the above, you may now put your hands down and have a seat. You are hereby admitted to practice in any trial court in this state or the Court of Special Appeals or otherwise engage in the practice of law in the state of Maryland from this day through the last day of your exams under the supervision of the faculty teaching in your clinical program. Congratulations, students. You're now officially Rule 19 student attorneys. Best wishes to all of you.
Thank you so much, Judge Watts, for your remarks and for giving us really an important history lesson about Justice Thurgood Marshall at this important time when voting rights are being examined through the political process. At this point, I'm going to call each student by name. We will have certificates showing that you are student attorneys when you return to the law clinic office, but we do want to honor you by naming you so that your family and we can all celebrate you. So first, in the Civil Advocacy Clinic, we have Ali Aziz, Kevin Baines, Kyle Benitez, Patrick Brooks, Nicholas McClay, Eliza McDermott, Beverly Mulatto. Who? Excuse me.
That's what he's talking about. There's no way you can have.
If you could please mute yourself, that would be terrific. Thank you. Let me say Beverly Mulatto again. Julian Notaro, Alexis Villegas. In the Civil Advocacy Clinic 2, we have Juliana Felkowski and Aidan Galloway. In the Community Development Clinic 1, we have Kyle Coleman, Canisiasia Cordes, my apologies, Emlyn Goodman, Lisa Hutton, Cordo Keita, Andrew Lowen, John Mahoney, Parker Imani Payne, Ariana Sajad, Sean Spalasi, Cody Wicker. In the Criminal Practice Clinic, we have Mario Bitar, Tiana Boardman, Lamia Ezaki, Rachel Kiewicz, Caitlin Santa Barbara, Amy Scott, and Dalton Warren. In the Family Law Clinic, we have Logan Ewing, Chandler Jones, Sasha Magruder, Randall Martin, Catherine Simon, and Eric Suris. Family Law Clinic 2, we have John Cardozo, Kelsey Creed, and Neha Khan. In the Immigrant Justice Clinic, our newest clinic, Anam Chima, Erwin Bradley, Matthew Graham, Rachel Henderson, Sina Jahan Shahi, Emily Leffler, Ella O'Toole, Ellen Pruitt, Jesse Schaller, Lauren Stone, Kylie Tahara, Regina Valentine, Megan Weaver, Stephanie Yamoa. In the Innocence Project Clinic 1, first semester, Hallie Blitzstein, James Bradley, Stephanie Castro, Markeisha Dobson, Shireen Ibrahim, Caitlin Keegan, Mitchell McCardle, and Kristen McManus. And I should say this is their second semester. It's a year-long clinic. In the Legal Data and Design Clinic, we have Jillian Krajency, Corey Horowitz, Christopher Myberger, and Brandon Moore. In the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic, first semester, we have Matthew Buonato, Thomas Desiker, Laura Grant, Benjamin Irvin Johnson, Jacob Lynn, Aaron Litz, Alexandria Plunkett, James Shea, and Kelsey Schindel. In the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic Advanced Clinic, we have Nicholas Christopher and Joshua Ring. In the Mediation Clinic for Families, the Advanced Clinic, second semester, we have Kelly Arnold, Shannon Kreiner, Samantha Stephen. In the Mental Health Law Clinic, we have Kathleen Cully, Megan Farnham, Sabrina Marquez, and Christopher McQueenie. In the Veterans Advocacy Clinic, first semester, we have Madison Bennett, James Bush, Patrick Cozalet, Lucas Duty, Nicole Hess, Brenda Herford, Alexander Marconi, Leah Masikot, Davita Mohandeo, and Anup Patel. And in the Veterans Advocacy Clinic Advanced Clinic, we have Jody Bryant and Brittany Whitby. So congratulations to all of our student attorneys. We are so proud of you and look forward to seeing the hard work and the accomplishments you do over the course of the semester. This ends our formal proceedings. Again, I would like to thank the Honorable Judge Watts for being here and for sharing such incredible and inspiring remarks. While the formal program is over, we invite people to unmute and cheer on the student attorneys and stay on for as long as you wish. But for those of you who need to get to class, which I know is starting right now, we understand that you need to leave, or if you need to go take care of other business, the formal proceeding is over. Thank you so much for coming, and congratulations again.
Congrats,
Yay!
Congratulations.
Very proud of you.
So proud of you, Matthew.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Taylor.
Yeah!
Congratulations, Matthew. Good job, buddy.
Congratulations.